You're watching the Handmade by Lorelei podcast, formerly known as the Knits and Beads podcast. I feel like I need a little bit of rebranding after I've taken a nice month-long hiatus. I think that Handmade by Lorelei encompasses what I'm doing here, especially since I don't normally talk a lot about my beading business, my jewelry business. So this is predominantly my knitting podcast or crafting podcast. I will probably talk a little bit now and then about other crafts besides knitting, such as sewing, and occasionally may mention my jewelry business here and there like normal. But Knits and Beads, I feel like, isn't the best title for me. So somebody's yelling. Weird. You're watching episode number 44. And like I said before, it's been about a month since I last podcast, so I'm sure you're probably all curious to know what I've been up to. Hopefully, if you're here. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. So nice to see you again. And if you're a brand new viewer, welcome. I am coming to you from upstate New York. Today is Friday, and the date is August 4th, I think, or 3rd, I forget. You can find me online on Ravelry and Instagram. My handle is Lorelei Erdo, no spaces. We do have a Ravelry group on Ravelry. Just go to the groups tab and search Knits and Beads podcast, and eventually I will be changing the name of that to Handmade by Lorelei, the podcast. But until then, which might take a few days for me to get to that, you'll find it under Knits and Beads, and you're going to want to go there because if you stick around through the rest of this episode, eventually I'm going to be talking about a giveaway. So definitely keep that on your to-do list to go join the Ravelry group. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do that now. Down below is a little subscribe button. And if you would like notifications on when I upload new videos, you can click the little bell and you'll get notified via email. So in today's show, it may be a little bit long. I have a lot to say. I'm going to be talking a little bit about Cal's news, the giveaway. Also, I have a couple finished objects, some works in progress, some stash enhancement, upcoming knitting plans. I'm going to talk a little bit about Rhinebeck and my life, etc. at the end, in case you don't want to hear what's been going on here. So let's jump right in. And I forgot one thing, so I'm gonna go get it. As you may have remembered, I was participating in the Brooklyn Knitfolk Quilt-a-long, and I have finished my quilt. And if you follow me on any social media, you probably have seen this on my Instagram, but if not, I thought I'd bring it in to show you. I'm gonna push out a little bit. It's big, so I'm not going to be able to show it all in one. I'll try to insert a picture for you because I think I do have one. This is a scrappy quilt that I did. These are 6-inch squares. So this is just scraps of fabric that I've had in stash, and I kind of laid them out in a pattern so that every other color is a dark color and every other color is a light color, just to give it a little bit more of a cohesive look. I backed my quilt with just a plain old gray sheet from Target. This is a twin size sheet that I cut down. My quilt is about, I don't remember how big it is. It's not a twin size, it's shorter than that, but it's perfect for the couch. And I did not quilt this via sewing in the ditch. I I tied it with eggplant colored floss, and I love it. The binding is this fun polka dotted binding, and actually I had bought some binding at Joann Fabrics in an eggplant color, and I changed my mind because after watching the tutorials from Jacqueline, she shows you how to make your own, and it's so easy. So I made my own binding, and this side is sewn on with the machine, but then the back I hand stitched it. Yes, it took a very long time. It was a labor of love, but I am so glad I did because it's just a really nice, neat look, and it was not hard whatsoever. And I definitely can't wait to make another quilt because it's awesome. I'm really proud of it. And I think it's really fun, and it looks great on the couch, and yeah. So that's my number one finished object. And this has been done for several weeks. It's covered in cat hair, of course. The cats love it. Let's see, what else do I have? I have a couple of other finished objects. Knitting. I am wearing one of them. This is my Shusui Shrug. This is a pattern by Sosu Knits, or Suzanne Summers, I believe her name is. And it's kind of a big shawl shape when you think about it. It's like a triangular shape, but then it has these arms. Now, the pattern called for full-length arms, but the one thing I didn't like about the pattern was, actually it's not about the pattern, it was how I chose to knit the sleeves. I just can't wrap my head around double pointed needles. I just never have been able to handle all those needles. I feel really clumsy, and my hands are so big, and I can't, little tiny double points doesn't work for me. So I ended up doing magic loop. Magic loop doing brioche is not for the faint of heart. It was just really kind of tricky, and I got this far, and this was after I had actually needed to order another skein of the white, and just to be on the safe side, I actually ordered, before I read through the pattern, I thought that the green was also needed, and I also thought that the neon peach was going to be around the bottom of the hem here, the bottom of the wrist. Turns out, no, the sleeves are all knit with the one color, with my light color. So to remind you, because I'm gonna have to take this off soon. It is so hot. I used Madeline Tosh sock in neon peach. The green is Madeline Tosh sock in oak. And the light color is Peepaloo Fields and the Madness colorway. It's kind of a white with lots of rainbow speckles. I actually ordered an additional skein of all 3 yarns before I realized I didn't need all of that. So now I have an extra skein of oak, which is fine because I love it. And I have another, I had the neon peach. I ordered another skein of the neon peach, which I don't care. I love that too. In fact, I was thinking maybe of doing a whole shawl in that color. And the Peepaloo Fields, I had to have her dye it. And she did a great job. And she was really, really awesome to work with. So if you ever need any hand-dyed yarn, I definitely highly recommend that. I'm seeing smoke. There are workmen out there, and I'm seeing smoke billowing out the front window. Dear. Okay, we're good. Nothing's on fire. So, other than the magic loop with brioche, I did really, really enjoy doing this pattern. And it looks really epic, but it actually flew by very quickly. I really enjoyed it. Nothing about this pattern is hard. And one of the best things about it is that you're not working really the whole row in brioche. You're actually breaking it up with these garter panels. And I haven't really worn it too much, obviously, because it's the middle of summer. But I think it'll be nice to have just to throw on now and then. So I'm going to take it off because it's so hot. Plus I want to show you my next finished object. The next thing I have to show you is a shawl. This is called the Decemberist. The Decemberist by Melanie Berg. And it is a bulky weight lace shawl. And I ended up using some yarn that I got on clearance from Wool. It's a Balance Bulky. And it's actually I think it's a blend of wool and cotton. I don't think it's a straight cotton. I think it's a blend of wool and cotton, maybe 50% of each. Really, really loved knitting this. I just needed something really quick, and the bulky weight definitely knits up quick. The color is fantastic. It's so cute. Oh, I just love it. And the cotton kind of makes it really nice and lightweight, so it's not like a heavy shawl. It's not huge, you know. You could possibly wear it like this, maybe with a pin. I have not also worn this very much either, so anywho, that's my finished objects for this week. Okay, that's not everything. There's some more sewing. I have some more sewing to show you. I'm at 12 minutes already. I have a lot to say. Sorry. I hope you're interested in sticking around through the whole thing, but I have some more things to show you. One thing is I worked this week a little bit on the sewing machine, and I made some more jewelry rolls. I just made 2 more, I think. Was it 2? Yeah, I made 2. I mean, they're time intensive to make, obviously, but this one is still available in my store in case you're interested. This is my design. It's a travel roll for jewelry. These loops you can kind of attach necklaces, and there's pockets down below to tuck the necklaces into for extra protection. I've got an earring trim here with little holes, and you can attach dangling earrings, French ear wires, or you can even put your studs on there. And there are pockets below for your longer earrings to kind of be protected inside of all the pockets. And then I have a long zippered pocket here. And you've probably seen this before if you follow my podcast, but I thought I'd show it again in case anybody's new. This pocket's great for rings, bangles, bracelets, whatever you've got. This kind of protects everything, and then it just rolls up, and I've got these nice elastic bands to secure it. And this is a new feature. I put a couple loops on the top in case you want to hang this on your wall while you're not traveling, and that will kind of keep everything organized for you, little jewelry organizer. And I probably didn't mention, but I am a jewelry designer. I have been making jewelry and selling it online for, oh my gosh, 12 years, I think. It's been a long time. And yeah, so I wanted to develop a jewelry roll that would accommodate beaded jewelry and bigger, chunkier jewelry, and that's why I created this. In that design, I was thinking the other day about making myself a needle case in that same general design, so I made this. This is a jewelry roll, or I'm not a jewelry roll. This is a needle case I made for my Hiyas. I've got slots here. This is like a canvas material. Got my needle tips in each of the pockets. And it's got a zipper down the center. And this big pocket will hold all of my cords. And I used this really fun Victorian type of fabric, which I just love. So it folds in half and then rolls up. And then I have one more thing. I participated in doing a test sew for a sewing pattern designer. Her shop on Etsy is called Handmade, and she had put out a purse pattern that she needed tested, so I volunteered and created this using her pattern. This is the Louisa crossbody bag. It's got a nice long adjustable strap, and some of the features I did this is kind of a cotton linen blend on the bottom, and this fabric is so cute. I found it at my local quilting shop. This is a hidden zipper pocket there. On the back side, it's got two pockets here, and it's kind of got a sunken zipper. And on the interior, there's another zippered pocket here. It's nice and roomy. This was really, really fun. If you sew and you're interested in trying a bag pattern, definitely check out Handmade. They're awesome patterns. Really, really easy to follow. And they run about $8. I mean, it's like such a deal. I've made one of her other purses 3 different times. I have yet to make myself one, but eventually I will. So that's it for finished objects. Moving right along to works in progress. I am working on 2 projects currently. This one is the Lucky Charm shawl, and I'm using this beautiful single ply yarn from Tusken Knits, and this is the Haar colorway, and the base is her single ply merino, which is called Fur. And it's just this beautiful light taupe and green, blue-green kind of variegated yarn. And it's gorgeous to work with. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm keeping this in my Little Skein in the big wool bag. Here is what I have so far. It's so pretty. It's so pretty and addictive. I did kind of mess up a little bit in the beginning because, you know, I was trying to learn. I was learning the stitches. It's slip stitches, very easy. The only thing I would have to say is that it's a lot of this texture. And being the dead of summer, I have not really been knitting all that much. And when I do knit, I knit for a short while. So that's why this isn't growing very quickly. But that's what I've got so far. I mean, it's growing. It's gonna take some time. So basically the bottom of the shawl has these really cool slip stitches, arrows, and then on all 3 corners, it's a triangular shawl, there will be big ol' tassels. So I'm really excited to have this finished object. It's just currently feeling a little bit of like a slog to get through, just because I mean, it's definitely not hard, and the slip stitch on the right side goes pretty quickly. I'm purling on the back, but the rows are getting quite long, and so it's taking some time. But I've been working on it here and there when I feel like it, because I only have one other project on the go at the moment, and that is my Rhinebeck sweater. I'm working on my Rhinebeck sweater. I'm using some yarn from Barocco. It's Ultra Alpaca, so it's pretty fuzzy, and this is going to be a very warm sweater. It's I'm knitting it in this beautiful periwinkle color, and I have already finished the sleeves. Here they are. 2 sleeves finished, and they're all wrinkly because they've been kind of wadded up in my Jenna Rose Handmade bucket bag. This is another thing. It's going really well, but like I said, I just haven't been knitting long periods of time on it, so it's kind of going a little bit slow. But I love it. It's got this beautiful cable on the front. This is a hooded sweater, by the way, and hopefully I'll put in a picture so you can see what the whole thing looks like. It's called Kristen, and it's designed by Kristen TenDyke. And then the back side also has cables, but it has a double cable. It's looking really good. It's kind of got like a large fold over kind of, I don't know what that's called, neckline, and it's got a hood, and actually the double cable goes all the way up the hood, and then there's a big wide ribbing brim on the hood. I explained that really poorly. It's going to be beautiful. Hopefully I can finish it in time because Rhinebeck is fast approaching. Like really fast approaching. Anyway, that's really all I've been working on knit-wise. I do have some things I've been kind of dreaming about knitting, such as the Veronica. It's a shrug that you've probably seen a million times already by Shannon Cook that just came out. Using worsted weight yarn, and it's a big old rectangle that includes some seaming, so it doesn't really have sleeves, but it looks like really nice and big and cozy. I have it in my head that I want to use the same yarn as one of, she might have been a tester, and I didn't note her name down, unfortunately, but she made one using Woolstock 150. Woolstock yarn. I don't think it's a superwash wool. I think it's just a natural wool. I could be wrong, but it's beautiful, and it's like this beautiful light gray color, which I love gray. I mean, you can wear it with anything. So it comes in 2 different amounts. You can get a regular skein of it, and I think it's like 50 grams. Or you can get 150 grams. Grams. The 150 grams is actually like 370 yards of skein or ball, or I don't know if it comes on cone, I don't know. So I'm thinking I will need about 3 of them because I'm going to do the size 2. And it runs about $24 at Webb's. And we're talking about going to see my in-laws soon, and they live in Connecticut, so I'm hoping that my husband will swing up there so I can get it and I don't have to pay for shipping. So that is a definite down the road project that I plan on doing. Also recently saw some pretty cool socks on Ravelry. They're called the Push Me Pull You socks. And I did not write down the designer, of course, but I'll put it here on the screen. The cool thing about these socks is that they are knit in one piece. From the toe up of the one sock, all the way up the foot, up the leg, and then you go right into the leg and the heel and foot of the second sock, all in one piece, and then you separate the two when they're done. And you do it all on 9-inch circular needles. So if you're big on the 9-inch circulars, I think this is going to be kind of a fun project. It's also, she noted in the pattern that it's perfect for a high instep, and also there's no need for a gusset because the heels are done with short rows. In case you're interested, check it out. It's on Ravelry. Push Me, Pull You. So those are a couple things I've been thinking about, among other things, but obviously I'm at 26 minutes, so I'm gonna move on. Stash enhancement. Let's do that next. Stash enhancement. Okay. First of all, I got a new book. What did I do with it? I thought I brought it out here. Guess I didn't. Let me grab it. It's right here. I got Felicia Lowe's new book called Dying to Spin and Knit. The reason I got this is because I saw a review on Chrissy's podcast, Chrissy of this podcast. I can't think of it now. She has a great podcast. If you ever want to find a new one to watch, she's got a good one. Anyway, she was talking about how this book kind of talks a little bit about dyeing and color, which, you know, down the road, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I want to do it. But also, some of the projects in here are kind of, they are, you know, for hand-dyed yarn. And it talks a little bit about how to use hand-dyed yarns in a way that enhances, the pattern is enhanced by the yarn colors. So, like, for example, this gorgeous ombre type effect. Yeah, it's great. I'm not going to do a book review because Chrissy did a wonderful one. So if you're thinking about books for your library, this is a good one. I don't have any patterns picked out right yet. There's actually a really cool sock pattern, top-down toolbox socks. Those are fun. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention it because it's new. Also received a wonderful gift from my girl Nancy of the Round Rabbit Podcast. Nancy gave me a gift recently. I drove down to Seneca Lake to Watkins Glen because there's actually a really great yarn store there called Fiber Arts in the Glen. And they wanted to actually have some of my jewelry on consignment there. So I took a ride down there, and Nancy lives very close, and she stopped by and we went to lunch, and she actually gave me a couple of gifts, one of which was for Christmas and one of which was for my birthday. But I want to just show you, she got me some incense, which we've been burning all the time. Love them so much. Thank you, Nancy, for those. They're amazing. The one that I love the best that she gave me was amber. She also gave me a little plate incense holder that is just gorgeous. And she also gave me one of her bags. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty this is. This is holding some of the yarn for my Rhinebeck sweater. And it's huge. Look how big it is. It holds so much, and I just love it. She used this beautiful like navy blue linen and did some piecework on the front and back of these beautiful batik fabrics. Well, there's some batik and some not batik. It's lined in just a plain pale kind of cotton, and it's awesome. So thank you, Nancy. I just love it. Check out Nancy's website. It's roundrabbit.bigcartel.com. I'll put it here on the screen for you. Definitely check out her bags. She is also doing some really, really cute pin cushions lately that are adorable. Anyway, we're going to Rhinebeck together this year, so if you see us floating around, say hi. Please say hi, because it's gonna just be a whirlwind, I'm sure. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next segment. I also received a beautiful gift from David of Dog Dare Podcast. If you've watched his most recent podcast, which just came out last night, he talked about some prayer beads that I had made for him, for his brother, who is battling stage 4 cancer. And I told David that I just wanted, just send me a skein of yarn. You don't have to pay me for the beads. And he would not accept that deal and insisted on sending me a little package along with paying me for the beads. So I just want to say thank you, David. That was very, very nice. He is a huge, huge supporter of Handmade. He has a wonderful podcast. You should definitely go and check it out. It's called the Dog Dare Podcast. And I just wanted to show you the yarn he had sent me for that. He also sent me a beautiful mug, which I didn't bring in here, but it's Starbucks mug that has knit print like patterning on it. It's really, really cool. It's just so nice of him. And he sent me some tea too. But this yarn is just gorgeous. It's the colorway is called Give Green a Chance, which I love. I just love green. It's Wild Happy Color hand-dyed yarn. Definitely check out her Etsy store, wildhappycolor.etsy.com, and her Instagram is wildhappycolor. This is her 80/20 superwash merino nylon 400 yards, and it's awesome. I'm actually thinking of pairing this with another yarn to do some brioche. Okay, so we are going to Rhinebeck or bust. I'm looking really forward to it, and the more and more we're getting closer, I'm hearing about all these people that are going, and I'm just flabbergasted. There are so many people that are awesome and really, really popular in the podcasting world that I'll be super, super excited to meet. And so I'm going with Nancy, and Nancy and I are staying at an Airbnb with a couple of other friends, such as David from Dog Dare Podcast, and also from the Yarn Dyers Dog Star Knits. Jake and his wife Ray are going to be there also, and we are all staying together, and I'm super excited. So if you see any one of us, please stop and say hi. We're talking a little bit now about doing a collaboration of sorts, so stay tuned. I promise I'm not going to wait another month before I podcast again. Hopefully I got to get to work on those projects so next time I have something to show you. But we're also talking about make-along of sorts, just to get everybody excited about Rhinebeck. And possibly going to be doing a joint podcast while we're at Rhinebeck, which is super fun. So that is very exciting. Let me talk a little bit about the giveaway, and then I will talk about my life, etc. at the end. I have a giveaway, so what you're gonna do is head on over to the Ravelry group. Like I said, it's Knits and Beads Podcast. I will have a question prompt for you to answer, and I will pick a random winner on my next episode, which will be number 45. This is just a thank you for sticking with me and holding out while I take this little hiatus. I'm very sorry that it's taken me so long to come back to podcasting. With it being summer, you know, being busy and not knitting so much, and I've also been kind of in a funk, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but I just want to say thank you, and I want to kind of revitalize the podcast Ravelry group, so I figured I would do this giveaway. I don't know what the prompt is going to be just yet. I will come up with that eventually, but here's what I'm gonna give away. I made this little stitch marker set. It's got a little owl on it. You can clip this to your project bag. I'm sending a skein of Skein yarn from Australia, and it's the top draw sock, and the colorway is Namaste. And I'm also giving away this gorgeous owl project bag from Little Skein and the Big Wool. So one lucky winner will win this beautiful package, and like I said, I will draw a winner next episode, which I'll try to do that within 2 weeks. So good luck. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about my life, etc. A couple of weeks ago, long story short, I went to a graduation party at my neighbor's for her daughter and was chatting with a couple of other neighbors and friends of theirs, and mentioned, when I was asked how my business was doing, I said, you know, because I'm an open book, I'm like, not great. It's not really been great. I'm gonna probably have to get a part-time job. And she asked her husband, hey, didn't you say you needed someone to help you out at the office? And he said yes. So without getting into too much detail about the job itself and where it is, he hired me to do some administrative type of work for him at his surgery center. So I did that for 1 week, and it just wasn't a good fit. I was extremely stressed out and anxious, and I just had a really hard time transitioning into that work environment. It was an extremely busy office, lots of phone ringing, lots of phone calls, and I just it just didn't feel right, and I lasted the week and then resigned. So I felt really bad, and I hate the thought of, you know, wasting their time. I thought I was going to be able to do it, and it was just too much for me. Mentally, it was too much for me. So my search continues for another part-time thing. I'm hoping to find something a little bit more on the creative side, because I am that type of person, and also maybe something that doesn't require so much phone time and computer time. That was another thing. Staring at a computer screen all week was tough. It was really tough. So yeah, funnily enough, this week has been pretty great business-wise. But you know, it's a roller coaster. It's like 1 week's really great and the next week's really bad. And I'm just kind of getting really burnt out from that roller coaster and a little sick from it. So I feel like it would just be nice to have something I could do, even just a couple hours a day, every day would be fine as long as I could still work on my jewelry part-time. In this case, when I started working at the surgery center, I worked the whole week full-time as a training, and it was a lot. I didn't step into my studio all week, and it really affected me. And that's probably all I needed just to revitalize my imagination, because this week's been really great as far as things I've been making. So, and sales have been better, so who knew? I just needed a week away from the studio, but I have a feeling that the next dip in the roller coaster is going to be right around the corner, and so I'm just really trying to figure out what to do. I don't want to abandon my business because I just still love it so much. I mean, as a maker, it's hard work. It's really hard work, and I know this, and I've been doing it for 4 years, and I understand that it's not always going to be easy, but when you find something that you're really passionate about, it's really hard to walk away from it, and even on a part-time basis. It's just really, really hard. So, yeah, that's been kind of the last couple of weeks. Not really too much else going on here. Like I said, it's summer. I feel like all I do is work. I've been bugging my husband for a vacation. He actually went on a vacation for a week. He went camping with a buddy, and they go every year, and no girls allowed. So I'm still waiting for my vacation. Hopefully, I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have to plan something, but I am playing around with the idea of going down to the New York City area just to kind of see some sights and check out some yarn stores and bead shops and things like that. Get some good food. I'm thinking about staying outside of the city for a night or two and then taking a train in. I feel like that might be more in my budget. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But gearing up quickly to do my fall show that I do in Sharon Springs, New York, called the Harvest Festival. I am planning on vending there. I'm not sure where my booth will be as of yet. Usually they have a section at the show that's just Etsy people, and I haven't heard yet if that is going to be the case this year again, so I'll have to wait and see. But I'll keep you posted on that. I am going to be there though, selling jewelry and whatever else I can make and sell. Last year when I did the show, I did bring some of my zippered project bags, and those sold pretty well, so I'll probably have some of that, and then jewelry and jewelry rolls, and yeah, so I think that's it for today. Thank you again so much for coming back. Don't forget to enter for the giveaway. I said a lot, and I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, thank you so much for listening and checking in to see what I've been making, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend full of all types of knitty, wonderful, crafty things, and I will see you in approximately 2 weeks to announce the giveaway winner and hopefully show you some great progress on my knitting projects. So I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye now.